Monday morning, I made him disappear. The champagne was still bubbling when she leaned in. Her hand, soft with age, squeezed mine beneath the white linen table. Her lips barely moved, but her words struck like a blade just under the ribs. "Your brother will be a better CEO, sweetheart." I smiled, lifted my glass, clinked it against his. No one noticed the pause in my breath. No one heard the snap in my chest. Except maybe me. They kept laughing, clapping, cheering for the billion-dollar deal their son had secured. Their son. Singular, apparently. The one who missed meetings, who hadn't opened a company report in 6 years, who once asked if ROI was a stock ticker. That one. But he had dimples. He had charm. He had her. I sat back, watched the toasts continue, watched him bask in light he hadn't earned. I sipped, swallowed the acid, and on Monday morning, I made the first move. It wasn't the words, it was the tone. Like she'd been waiting to say it, like it was rehearsed, a line from a script she'd written long ago. My own mother, soft-spoken and sly, placing the crown on someone else's head, while I was still bowing to thank her. I didn't argue. That would have been loud, messy, small. Instead, I started watching, listening, replaying every board meeting, every offhand comment, every time she insisted, "Bring your brother into this," or "He should learn." And he did. He learned. He learned everything I built from the inside. Watched me turn a dusty corner shop into a sleek, tech-forward retail empire. He smiled through it all, applauded, called me a genius. Now I saw it for what it was: grooming, positioning, a slow displacement. Not a betrayal of ambition, but blood. He was going to take everything, because she handed it to him. I didn't sleep much that week, not from rage, from calculation. I started with the company accounts. I had access to everything: payroll, contracts, internal memos. Quietly, I began cross-referencing his login timestamps with activity logs. Turns out, little brother had a habit of copying confidential data to USB drives during after-hours access. Legal agreements, supplier deals, brand blueprints. Interesting. Next came the emails, his, hers, their private chain tucked beneath layers of filters. I wasn't surprised to find her coaching him. "Here's how you answer investors. Say we came up with the expansion idea. Don't mention your sister. She doesn't want the spotlight anyway." There were drafts of press releases, ones I hadn't seen. One's naming him CEO, following his leadership through the recent scale-up. I'd written the scale-up strategy, alone. I had the drafts, time-stamped, but they had the story. They were going to rewrite it. I booked a meeting with our lawyers for Friday, pretended it was routine, told no one. On Thursday night, I asked him to dinner. "Just us," I said, "to celebrate." He smiled. Of course he did. The private dining room was dim. He ordered steak. I didn't touch my glass. He talked about how proud he was of me, how hard I worked, how he admired that. The pity made it worse. I slid the folder across the table. "What's this?" "Your little side projects," I said. "The files you stole, the memos you edited, the version of history you tried to rewrite." He opened it, scanned a few pages. His face twitched. "You went through my... You left fingerprints on everything." Sloppy. He looked up, anger blooming. "Mom said..." I know what Mom said. The silence was sudden and surgical. I leaned in, mirroring the moment she created at the party. She said, "You'd be a better CEO." He swallowed. I watched his jaw tighten, watched the narrative unravel behind his eyes. The spotlight dimming, the stage collapsing, his story ending before it began. "You can't prove anything," he said, but quieter now, less sure. "I don't need to." Friday morning, 8 a.m., boardroom, frosted glass, silver carafe steaming, legal counsel seated. They read, slowly, thoroughly, a timeline of data theft, confidentiality breaches, intent to mislead investors, internal manipulation. My mother sat in the corner, pale. My brother beside her, stiff. I stood. I didn't raise my voice, didn't shout, didn't accuse. I laid out the facts, the proof, my chain of evidence, my clean hands. And then, my final move. I pulled out the new leadership plan. Not a termination letter, not an accusation, a proposal. Effective immediately, the board will vote on a restructuring, I said. He'll remain a shareholder, silent. No operational input, no authority, no signature access. I turned to her. And you, Mother, will remain what you've always been. I paused. A name on the founding plaque. Nothing more. The silence after was longer than the meeting itself. Unanimous vote. Motion carried. She called that night. Didn't leave a message. He texted, "You didn't have to do that." But I did. Because silence isn't weakness. It's strategy. They raised me to be obedient, polite, careful. They forgot to teach me what to do when I stopped needing their approval. I don't celebrate the win. There's no joy in exposing people you once trusted. But there is power and clarity. On Monday morning, I made him disappear. Not with a scream, not with blood, just a signature and a smile.